Florida State's 2023 season will be remembered and is quite momentous for a lot of reasons. Getting back to the top of the ACC, 13-0 record. Remarkable run, both on offense and defense. And the ACC championship game against Louisville. A win against LSU and soon-to-be Heisman Trophy winner Jaden Daniels. A lot of pluses. But they got snubbed from the college football playoff, and it spiraled down from there, of course. They had a mass exodus. They lost to Georgia by 60 points in the Orange Bowl, and they're, of course, in the midst of a massive fight with the ACC. Let's get back to the football. On the field, 2024, Florida State, all sorts of personnel losses, but Mike Norvell has built a program at Florida State that should be able to withstand the personnel losses and put together a nice run in the ACC. It gets started awfully early, August 24th. I doubt if Florida State's ever played a game that early. Out across the pond in Ireland, taking on Georgia Tech at 7-6 last season, with Brent Key doing a nice job getting the Yellow Jackets to a bowl game victory and Haynes King at quarterback. Then Florida State comes back for its what has become a traditional Monday night, Labor Day night game at Doak Campbell Stadium. They've done it in recent years against Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, and others. This past season, of course, on the road of sorts against LSU with a big win over the Tigers. This time they got Boston College. It was a nail-biter at Chestnut Hill, 31-29. Then they've got a bye week as they move themselves into September with Memphis, a difficult non-conference game for a group of 5 team. Of course, always one of the better group of 5 teams, and Mike Norvell's former team 10-3 this past season with a bowl win against Iowa State. Then there's an ACC game to be played against the Cal Golden Bears coming to Doak Campbell. Justin Wilcox's team at 6-7 last year, the historic first game for Cal at Florida State. Then another of the newbies at SMU, coming off the American Conference Championship. Old friend Miami offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley leading the Mustangs now. Then the game of the year, typically in the ACC, October 5th against Clemson at home. Of course, Florida State's overtime win over the Tigers in Death Valley really propelled them to ownership of the ACC. Then they've got the second bye week before what you would consider to be the toughest stretch of the season at Duke. Of course, Florida State had a tussle with the Blue Devils last year, trailed in the third quarter. Riley Leonard got hurt, and Florida State marched on to the win. They've got Manny Diaz to face this time. Of course, Manny Diaz won 2 of 3 against Florida State when he was with the Canes. Then they do play the Canes at Miami. Florida State won a tough ball game last year at home. Now they face Cam Ward. And the Canes coming off 7-6. North Carolina is next. And then a trip to Notre Dame. South Bend, early November. Weather could be dicey, possibly. The Irish at 10-3 with Riley Leonard, the aforementioned Duke quarterback, of course, transferring to Notre Dame. Then the other bye week precedes Charleston Southern. And then the rivalry game against Florida. Gators down at 5-7, 6-7 the year before, but despite the 2 losing seasons, gave Florida State a game the past 2 seasons. Probably the 2 big misses on the schedule would be Louisville and North Carolina State. Also, Virginia Tech gave Florida State a game for about a half in Tallahassee last year, and the Hokies look to be improving. Other misses on the schedule include Wake, Virginia, Syracuse, and Pitt. Also, Stanford will not play Florida State in its first season in the ACC. This just might be the toughest schedule in the conference, both in conference play and also considering the out-of-conference games against Notre Dame, Florida, and Memphis. Who plays 3 difficult non-conference games? Well, Florida State does. Got to respect the scheduling approach by FSU. Your comments and questions below. Will Florida State return to prominence in the ACC? Will they win the ACC back-to-back? Leave your comments down below right here at the Voice of College Football.